Hey guys, Michael from Fire and Brilliance. In today's episode, we'll be going over 5 reasons why people love blue sapphires in the year of 2023. So if you are in the market or if you are interested in blue sapphires and you want to learn more, then this is the episode to tune in. Okay, so that said, why do people love blue sapphires? I mean, there's obviously many reasons why people do love blue sapphires, but in today's episode, I'll give you the 5 main reasons as to why we believe people are loving blue sapphires. Okay, so that said, let's go ahead and go over this. First of all, the reason why people love blue sapphires is because, well, let me first of all, let me read this real quick for you. Blue sapphires have long been a symbol of nobility and a favorite choice for engagement and special occasion rings around the world. The deep blue shade is particularly captivating, and the stones are known for their beauty, durability, and spiritual significance. Okay, so so let me go ahead and go over the first reason here. Number one, the reason why people love blue sapphires is because of its timeless beauty. Okay, so few gemstones can match the unique beauty of a blue sapphire. The deep blue color inspires dreams and evokes a sense of mysteries. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean, obviously, if you're into the blues, then you are, well, not the sad blues. The blue sapphire is actually a nice, beautiful, happy blue. Okay, so especially if you're into jewelry, if you take a look at this ring behind me here, that's a blue sapphire as well. But if you take a look at the screen, that's also a blue sapphire, but it can range. Okay, so blue sapphires, like any other sapphires, the blues can range. Sometimes the most sought after typically is more of the bold, blue bold look, right? But then I've seen blue sapphires where they're a little lighter. I've seen blue sapphires where they are not as bold. So it just really depends. But normally, when people are thinking about blue sapphires, they're normally thinking about the colors that you're seeing in this image here. Okay, so it's a really beautiful blue, and I know many people do love the color blue, and it's actually quite gorgeous. Okay, it's obviously one of those gemstones that are part of the 4 precious gemstones, and let me go ahead and name them for you. They're diamond, ruby, emeralds, and sapphires. In this case, is a blue sapphire. Obviously, sapphires come in other colors as well, but the most dominant and most popular sapphire of them all, when people do think about sapphires, they're thinking about blue sapphires. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that the other ones aren't as pretty, but in terms of popularity, blue sapphires are typically the gemstone that people will go to. Now, that said, the second reason why people love sapphires or blue sapphires is because of its durability. Okay, so durability, what does that measure? It basically measures the hardness of the stone, how long it will last. If you were to wear it on jewelry, will it stand the test of time? Right, because if you're wearing jewelry or gemstones on jewelry, you want to make sure that it will be beautiful for the long term. You want to make sure that you can hand it down as an heirloom to your whoever it is that you wish to hand it down to, your great grandchildren, your grandchildren, your son, your daughter, right? Or whoever it is, your loved ones, right? So having it be durable makes sense, especially if you want it to be passed down from generation to generation or even your own lifetime, right? So how do you measure durability when it comes to gemstones? Basically, it's called a Mohs scale. Okay, so on the Mohs scale, you're measuring it from 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest of all gemstones, and 1 being the softest. Diamonds, again, is the hardest of all gemstones. If you're new to the channel, then welcome. If you're not new to the channel, then you probably heard me say this 1,000 times. The Mohs scale measures the hardness of the gemstone, a 10 being the most. So diamond is the hardest of them all. Moissanite, which is not on this list, is basically second hardest to all gemstones, next to only diamonds. And then after that, it will be the sapphires, right? So blue sapphires and all of the other sapphires and ruby is all made of the same rough, right? So it's called corundum, right? So it's basically a 9 out of 10 Very, very hard. And if you missed last week's episode, I went over 5 reasons why people love rubies. Basically, a ruby is a sapphire. All it is a red sapphire. So if you find a red sapphire, instead of calling it a red sapphire, you're calling it a ruby, but it's the same thing. Okay, so essentially, if you wanted to call a blue sapphire a blue ruby, I guess that would be the same idea. All right. So that said, only diamonds and moissanite are harder than sapphire, making them last very, very long. It's very hard, and it typically is obviously the reason why it's one of the more expensive and sought after gemstones, right? Because of this durability. Now, the third reason as to why people love blue sapphires is because of it's very eye-catching, right? Everyone who appreciates gemstones will be able to easily recognize a blue sapphire on sight. They have an unmistakable shade of blue that can range from a light baby blue to a deep and saturated navy blue or an ocean blue, right? So no matter what the color is, blue sapphire have a unmistakable beauty to it, especially if it is cut and polished nicely. So if you take a look at the image here, you notice that the luster, the way the light shines on the gemstone, is just absolutely stunning. Again, obviously everyone has their own favorite color, right? Mine is red. Obviously other people have different favorite colors. I know many people that love the color blue, and therefore the blue sapphire. If you are a person that loves blue as a color, and if you are into gemstones, then blue sapphire is the way to go. Trust me, especially if that is what you like to rock, right? So blue sapphire is very eye-catching. It's beautiful on earrings. It's beautiful on rings. It's beautiful on all types of jewelry. We've made a ton of them in terms of, here at Fire and Brilliance. So it's very eye-catching. And if you want something that is just really going to showcase, and you can always decorate the diamonds around it, just like this ring here. The diamonds are used as accent gemstones, whereas the main attraction is the blue sapphire. All right, so the fourth reason why people love blue sapphires is also because of the history of the blue sapphires. Give me a second here. I have something stuck in my throat. All right, the history. Sapphires have been treasured throughout the centuries, with some pieces dating back to ancient times. All right, this mysterious gem has caught the eye of kings, rulers, and royalty. The blue sapphire is believed to have been used as early as 800 BC. In the Middle East, blue sapphires were popular in the 18th and 19th century in Europe, and met with many members of the European nobility using the precious stones to adorn themselves and their belongings. So, in other words, blue sapphire has been around for a very long time. It's been worn on jewelry. It's been worn on crowns. It's been worn in royalty and nobility, right? So, it's one of those gemstones that has been passed down in terms of tradition for so long that it's almost impossible if you're to ask anybody, especially if they are a gem enthusiast or a jeweler, or even just a normal average Joe, right? Most people do know diamonds. If you say diamonds, they know what it is, right? And I would say second to diamonds, most people should also know sapphires, emeralds, and rubies, right? So, it's just one of those things. It's very historical. It's been worn on jewelry for so long. It's been on crowns. It's been on all of that, right? So in terms of historical presence, it's there. So if you are into, again, the blue sapphires, it is not only a timeless beauty, it's durable, it's eye-catching, but at the same time, it's also been worn based on history, right? So, and last but not least, what is the reason why people love blue sapphires is because of the symbolism, all right? So blue sapphires, just like many other gemstones, symbolizes many different things. Depending on where you live in the world, depending on your own culture, depending on your specific background, right, or lineage. Basically, a blue sapphire might mean something different to you. But let me go ahead and read you a few things that it symbolizes through the history of time. Okay, so blue sapphire is a powerful healing stone said to be made for good fortune and a protector of innocence. It is believed to provide emotional and spiritual strength and ward off negative energy, right? It also symbolizes wisdom, trust, honesty, and loyalty. Blue sapphire is associated with faithfulness and has long been considered a stone that opens up intuition. Many cultures also associate the blue sapphire with inner peace, hope, and spiritual enlightenment, right? So, and the last thing is, in some traditions, the stone is a representation of eternal love that represents loyalty, friendship, and commitment to meaningful relationships. So again, I mean, obviously, it really depends on your culture, where you come from, and all of that. Yeah, the blue sapphire might mean something different to you, but all in all, these are all positive things that the blue sapphire does symbolize, right? So I hope you like the 5 reasons here now. But before I go, I want to let you know that I want to give you a bonus fun fact. Okay, a bonus fun fact of the blue sapphire. One of the most well-known blue sapphire is called the Star of India, which is what you're seeing here. It is 563 carats, reportedly found in Sri Lanka in the early 1800s. It is considered one of the most valuable gemstones in the world and has been displayed in the American Museum of Natural History since the early 1900s. So if you take a look at this stone, isn't it just gorgeous? I mean, it's no wonder why they call it the Star of India. If you take a look at the way the light reflects on the gemstone, it looks like a star, right? It's found in Sri Lanka. So it makes me wonder why it's called the Star of India. It was found in Sri Lanka, but maybe I don't understand the history enough, so I might be ignorant to that. But regardless of the case, it is just a beautiful, beautiful stone. It's absolutely stunning. Imagine 563 carats, all sapphire. I can't imagine how much this stone is actually worth. But if you are a lover of sapphires, especially if you're a lover of blue sapphires, and I hope you really love what you see here. All right. So I hope you're enjoying this content here. We have been creating reasons why people love specific gemstones for the last couple of weeks. If you missed last week's episode again, you may want to check that out. It's basically a ruby. 5 reasons as to why people love rubies. But in this case, would you rock a blue sapphire? I've given you 5 reasons. And if you are a lover of blue sapphires and I missed one of your reasons, leave in the comment section below. Let me know why you love blue sapphires if I missed a point as to why people do love blue sapphires, right? So that said, I hope you enjoy it. We will have another episode this coming Friday, okay? And I won't name the gemstone as to which one I'm going over on Friday, but it will be another 5 reasons as to why you love X gemstone, okay? So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you all on Friday. Goodbye.